Hello. Today we're going to learn how to use the Las Cumbres Observatory observation portal. First, you have to go to LCO.global. Then go to Observing Portal. This is the home page. Then you can go to Login. To use the observation portal, you must have an LCO account and also have allocated observation time. To acquire time, you must present a project, or you can purchase the time with the LCO. You can go to Help for more information. So you put your username and then your password. And then log in. Okay, this is the home page. Here you can see your observation history, which observations are pending or you have already programmed. Okay. Then you have to go to Submit Observation. Great. You must also already know which object you're going to study. In this case, we're going to go with HD 93083, which is a solar type star. First, you have to provide a name for the observation. At Helios, we use the following name. So we start with the name of the object, HD 930. Then we put the date. We start with the year, month, and day. Then the filters we're going to use, in this case, BMV. And then the name of the observation site we might use. We still don't know, so we're going to leave it like that. Then you proceed to select the proposal. Proposal is the name of the project you presented to the LCO and what's accepted. Then you choose the mode. Do you want the default mode, time critical, or rapid response, which is in case you need this observation to be made as soon as possible? You can learn more here. The IPP factor, which is the interproposal priority. This means if you have different proposals, let's say in this case, you can say, okay, I'm gonna need priority for this observation and this proposal. So you choose the factor between 0.5 and 2. The default setting is 1, so we're going to use it like that. Then you go to the acceptability threshold, which is 90% as the default setting, but you can set it to any percentage you want. This is the percentage of the observation that must be completed to mark the request as complete. Okay, we're gonna leave it at 90. This is a new feature, mosaic. You can select a pattern if that's what you want, line or grid. We don't need that. Here you can learn more about the LCO instruments. Let's go there. Here you can learn about the different types of telescopes the LCO uses and provides here. Okay. Right. So observation type, image or spectrum. In this case, it's image. The instrument. We have access to the 0.4 meter telescopes because we are part of the LCO's program Global Sky Partner, so we have access to the 0.4. Guiding is used to keep the field stable during long exposures. Okay, so it's optional. You can use it, yes or no. In this case, let's say no. For example, type, do you want exposure or a sequence? And this is also a new feature. You can learn more here, but we're not going to use it. Okay, so exposure count is the name of images you want to take. Let's say 2. I need 2 images. Okay, exposure time in seconds. Okay, but I don't know how many seconds do I want, so or do I need. So you go to the exposure time calculator. Okay, so you already know the object, right? So we're going to check the magnitude. In this case, let's check the magnitude. We use Simbad for this information. You can use any catalog you want. So it's 9.7. Okay, exposure time, let's say I want to do it with 10. You select the filter. You select the telescope. For us, it's 0.4. Moon phase, let's say, for example, new in the air mass. Air mass is the quantity of air between the observation side and the atmosphere. So you say calculate. So a calculator says, saturation may occur. Consider reducing the exposure time or defocusing the telescope. So what do you mean defocus? So here it says defocus. You can defocus to prevent saturation on bright targets, in this case a SAR. So you say, no, I don't want to use the focus, so let's reduce the time to 5 seconds. And the calculator say, yeah, you're good with 5. Great. So we go with 5. We choose the filter. In this case was B, right? B. Great, B. We don't want the focus, and we're not going to use these settings also. And okay, so you say, but I want to use other filters beside B. So you don't have to program another observation besides this one. So all you have to do is say copy, and you have another configuration. So you want 2 images on filter B, right? But is 5 seconds okay for filter B? I don't know. Let's find out. So we say B, and we check the magnitude and B, 8.33. 8.33. Okay, it's the same. 0.4 telescope, the phase of the moon. Okay, let's see if we can use 5 seconds. No. Saturation may occur 5 seconds in B. So consider reducing the exposure time or defocusing the image. So let's say, okay, let's try with 2 seconds. Yeah, 2 is fine. Or maybe 4. What happens if we put 4? Still saturation. 3. Still 2. 2 is fine. Great. So here we have to do 2 seconds. Okay. Target. This is the name of the target. Remember, here is the name of the observation. Here's the name of the target. So our target is HD 93082. Great. So here the system is let's say knows the target, so it can give you all the information about it. But if the system doesn't recognize the target, you must insert all this data manually. Okay. Great. The air mass limit and minimal lunar separation. You have to take account of the phase of the moon and the separation. You can check that using Stellarium, right? Minimal lunar separation is 30 degrees. Great. Now, the window. The window is when we want to observe the object. So for that, we're going to use the target visibility calculator. Another tool that the site has. Great, the tool. You can access this tool through here, or you can go for observatory information. Sorry, and here you can see the archive, documentation, instruments, which is all the information about the telescopes, observatory status, which is what we're going to use, and the tools, visibility calculator and other planning tools. Okay, you can access through here. Let's say observation status, because we need to know which observatories we can use. For example, in Australia, the one of the 0.4 telescopes is out, so there's only one in use. There is no 0.4 in Israel. In South Africa, one of the 0.4 is also out, but we still can use the observatory. In Spain, also one of the 0.4 is out, but they have another one, so we can still use the observation. In Chile, all 0.4 are okay. McDonald in Texas, all 0.4 are okay, and the same for the Maui observation Haleakala. Great. It's important to check. Oh, here is the time allocation process if you want to apply. Okay. Tools. So we have already used the exposure time calculator. Now we're going to go with the target visibility calculator. So you can access here or through here. Right. So we're going to need the right ascension and declination of the object. We can take this data from Simbad. So you just copy it, and here. Point mass, with the calculator we use 1.3. We can use it 2 or 1.6. Start date. When do you want to observe? So let's say tomorrow. And you'll have to put the end date a day after, minimum a day after. Let's say already November. Okay. So here is showing, okay, that star is only visible from Silent Spring during this little window. It's like half an hour. That is very little window. Let's try, I don't know. Okay, here we have other windows, still very, very tight windows. So you have to take account of this. Okay. You have to be very careful with it. Let's see if we can. Hey, see? Here you can see that the windows are a bit longer. It's still very tight, but longer. Let's try December. Maybe we can have better luck in December. Okay. Well, it's more or less the same. Let's say we're going to program them for Cerro Tololo in Chile, or we can aim at Sutherland in South Africa, or Silent Spring in Australia. Okay, so let's go with Sutherland. It says more or less from 1 a.m. That is universal time, from 1 to 2 a.m. Okay. Yeah, very tight, but it can be done. So December 1st and to December. Right. Let's try for just one day apart. Let's see what we get. Yeah, pretty much the same. Okay, great. So we go here and we select the starting time, that it's December 1 at, and you choose the time. Let's say it says around, it's midnight, 1 a.m. Okay, so you choose 1. Let's say 1. You have to be careful because it gets jumpy, as you can see. Okay, let's say 1:17, and like it says, cannot be earlier than window start. So it's December 2nd at, it can be the same December 1. Yeah, at 2. We can choose also December 1st, and we're going to say at 2 2.5, 2:30. Great. Yeah. Oh no, can be, it's very tight window for this. Let's try this one. Great. Okay, so Cadence. We're gonna go better with December 2nd. Okay, yeah, we have more options. So if you can see, the network might use the Ceratololo telescope or the Siding Spring, right? So remember that we were going to put the observatory in the name. So we use this coding. So in this case, Ceratololo is LLC. We're gonna go up and put LLC. Great. You also have to check that everything has a green mark, which implies that everything is okay. If you see a red X, means something is wrong. So you have to check all of this. Okay, Cadence. Cadence is if you need different windows at the same time, different cycle of windows. If maybe you're following an object, a comet or asteroid or something, you can use Cadence. In this case, we're not. Okay, so after you're done, you can say, okay, submit request. You have to take account that the time you're going to spend is not the exposure time, because it takes time for the telescope to organize the filters, and also to point to the object and all this. So it's going to consume more than 5 seconds. Okay, for example, submit request. It says, okay, the request will take approximately 3 minutes. You okay with it? Yes or no. In this case, we're not going to submit it. It's just an example. So we go cancel. Okay, so you have to take account. And that's it. This is the draft. You can save the drafts if you want. Here's some of our drafts. Okay. And in home, once you submit your observation, you get you can know the status. In this case, it's pending. We have some observations pending. Let's say we're going to check this one, so you can see the data. So when was the observation request submitted? The proposal, who submitted the observation, in this case, one of our co-investigators. Okay. Still, the observation hasn't been scheduled, and you can see all the all the windows and every information that we submitted to in the form. Okay. Filters, exposure time, everything, the parameters. Here you can see. Let's choose one that is already has been done. Right. Let's say this one. Okay. So here it says if it was completed or not, the duration, the instrument, right, and the date that it was the image taken. Okay. And here in data you can see the results. This is a JPG image that you can download, and here you can download the files. The files have the FC extension. You have to know that, and with Celso-J you can process these images, or you can decompress it. Okay, so here you can choose whether you want the raw images or the reduced ones. Okay, and then say download. Yes. Great. So this is the observation portal. Remember to go to the page and for observers and observing proposals, so you can know when you can submit your proposal for your project. Okay, and the application process. Here you can consult every information about it. We hope these have been useful for you, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.